Very good afternoon, all of you. Am I audible? Can anyone confirm my voice is audible or not? So you have a text chat option in your right hand side. So you can text me through chat option. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation. Okay. So a very good afternoon, all of you. My name is Vijay Bhattacharya from Tally Education. So today we're going to discuss about advanced GST transactions. Okay. So the topic is advanced GST transactions. So first we'll discuss with the agenda. What are the topics to be discussed in your today's session? And then we'll gradually discuss one by one. Okay. And in between, if you have any doubt, any queries, you can text me through chat option and I'll give you the answer. Okay, so let's start today's session. And the agenda is first we'll discuss about basic transactions like purchase and sales to regular dealer. Okay, so we'll start with basic one. Then we'll discuss about purchase from composition dealer. Okay, then we'll discuss about purchase from unregistered dealer. Then we'll discuss about supply of exempted goods. Then goods supplied to a special economic zone, or we can say that ACZ supply. Okay, a special economic zone or ACZ. Then we'll discuss about reverse charge mechanism, RCM, and then advance receipt against supply of services. And finally, we'll discuss about import of goods. So these are the topics. So we'll discuss, start from purchase and sales to regular dealer. So this is a basic transaction. Then gradually we'll take you purchase from composition, then purchase from unregistered dealer, exempted goods, goods supplied to ACZ or special economic zone, reverse charge mechanism, advance receipt against supply of services, and import of goods. Okay, so we'll discuss all these things in release 2.1, and in next session we'll discuss all these things in release 3.0 as well. Okay, so start with purchase and sales to regular dealer. So what is registered dealer? Okay, so a registered dealer under GST can pay tax to prescribed rate on the turnover with the adjustment of input tax credit. So I think you all are aware with what is input tax credit. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and I'll tell you what is input tax credit. Okay, so that means a regular dealer under GST can pay tax at prescribed rate. So what are the prescribed rate? So prescribed rate is 0% to 28%, like 0%, then 5%, then 12%, then 18%, and finally 28%. They can make interstate sales as well as intrastate sales. So registered dealer can deal with interstate parties and intrastate party as well. Then applicable a higher rate of tax can charge at 0 to 28%, as I said, 0, 5, 12, 18, and 28. So these are the prescribed rate under GST, and they have no restrictions for export or supply to ACZ and ACZ developer. So registered dealer can export export his goods, supply to ACZ and ACZ developers. Okay, so these are the registered dealer. So now the question arises that who can take registration as a registered dealer under GST or regular dealer under GST? If any business, if their turnover or threshold is like greater than what, 40 lakhs for normal estates and 20 lakhs for a special category estate. So if your turnover is greater than 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs, you need to take registration under GST, but not a regular dealer. It's not a compulsory. Means it's a compulsory to take registration under GST, but it's not a compulsory to take registration as a regular dealer. But if your turnover is greater than 1.5 crore, then you don't have any option. You need to take registration under GST as a regular dealer. Okay, if your turnover greater than 1.5 crore, then you need to take registration under GST as a regular dealer. If your turnover greater than 40 lakhs or 20 lakhs, you can opt for composition scheme. But if your turnover is greater than 1.5 crore, then you need to take registration under GST as a regular dealer. Okay, clear? So now I'm going to open Tally and create a company, and will record some transactions related with a regular dealer. Okay. So now here is the Tally, and now I'm going to create a company, RJ Traders. State is Karnataka, and I can accept it. So my company is created, and now I need to provide GST details. So under company feature, we have enabled goods and services tax GST. I need to activate it yes. I need to set it as yes. Then I need to press enter. Now Karnataka, state as Karnataka, registration type as regular. We need to select as regular. SSC of other territory. So do you know what is SSC of territory? If you have any, do you have any idea about this? What is SSC of other territory? Can anyone explain what is SSC of other territory? In my previous session, I discussed about SSC of other territory. So if you have any idea, you can explain. Otherwise, I will tell you what is SSC of other territory. Any idea? Anyone can try what is SSC of other territory? Yes, Rahmatji, can you tell me what is SSC of other territory? You can type me. You can type here. Or anyone can tell me what is SSC of other territory? What is the use of this SSC of other territory? No, 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 no. It means any place which not comes under any state or any United States. It should be not. It's not a United State. It's Union Territory. It means any place. Yes, yes. Very good. Very good, Ramaji. So it means any place which not comes under any states or any union territory. Okay. So that means, suppose if you are from the coastal area, okay, coastal area like Gujarat to West Bengal. Okay, so these are the coastal area: Gujarat, Maharashtra, then Kerala, Goa, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. So these states have their coastal area. Okay, so if you supply any goods within 200 nautical mile from the coastal area, so that means you are supplying in within the India, but not in any states. Okay, so that means you are supply within the India, but it's not any state because it is sea area. Okay, so in that case, if you supply anything, in C, then you need to apply for SSC of other territory. Okay, so this is the concept of SSC of other territory. Suppose any Reliance refinery, so it's in C, under the C. So if you supply any services on that refinery, so you need to take as SSC of other territory. Okay. So here I'm just turn it no, because we don't have any supply. So like GST applicable form 1st April 2023. Now GST and UIN number. So I need to provide a GST and UIN number here, and then now we have the option periodicity of GSTR1. Two options are there, monthly and quarterly. So when you select quarterly or when you select monthly, can anyone explain? When we can select monthly or when we can select quarterly? Can anyone explain? Okay, very good. So suppose if our turnover is less than 5 crore, okay, so here are the two options, like we can see, so now if our turnover is less than 5 crore, less than 5 crores, then we have the two options. First option is either I can go for regular dealership, okay, sorry, regular QRMP also is a regular dealer. So I can select as, I can opt for QRMP scheme, QRMP scheme, or I can go for monthly scheme, monthly. Okay, if I select QRMP, if my turnover is less than 5 crore, then I need to pay tax monthly basis. Tax would be monthly basis, or and return should be filed quarterly basis. Okay, and in if you're talking about the monthly basis, so we need to pay monthly basis, and also return should be filed monthly basis. Okay, so this is QRMP scheme. So suppose your turnover is 2 crore, 2 crore yearly, your turnover, then you can opt for QRMP scheme. Okay, so it's not necessary you need to select monthly, you can opt for quarterly QRMP scheme. So in this scheme, you need to pay tax monthly basis, but you need to file your return quarterly basis. Yes, ask. Ramesh, if you have any question, please text me. I'll tell you. Okay, so in that case, so I know that our turnover is more than 5 crore, then so that I select here monthly. Okay, now set alter GST rate details. I need to activate this. Yes, and now under description, I need to provide the description of the stock details like computer. Then provide one HSN code. Now I need to select taxability as taxable, and we can provide 18% as GST. Okay, now I can accept it, and now I can accept this screen as it is. I'll tell you one by one, like enable tax liability on advance receipt, tax liability on reverse charge, enable GST classification, and provide annuity bond. Okay, one by one. Quarterly, you need to file every return in quarterly basis. Okay. Okay. So now press enter and accept it. Now I have activated my GST on company level. Now I need to create some masters here. So first master is ledger and create purchase. Under purchase account, is GST applicable? It should be applicable. Set alter GST details, no, and type of supply as goods. Now we can create a sales master, sales account, applicable, and goods. Okay, so there's no need to activate GST here, like set alter GST detail. You need not to press yes here because I already provided in company level. Okay, so I just create purchase and sale, and again I create two more ledgers, for one for debtors and one for creditors. So AB traders, it is creditors. Okay, and sundry creditors here, and now Karnataka, and registration type as regular. GSTN number, I need to provide GSTN number here. So I just copy one GST registration number here and paste it. Okay, now accept it. So I have created one creators. Now I need to create one debtors ledger. MSD traders, debtors, sundry debtors, Karnataka regular, and provide GSTN number. Okay. So I have created four ledgers, one purchase, sales, debtors, and creditors. Now I'm going to create CGST under duties and tax, GST, central tax, and I need to create SGST under duties tax, GST, and estate tax. Okay, so I just created. If I want to check how many ledgers I have created so far, so I can go to a chart of accounts. Here I can select ledgers, and here I can press F5. So if you press F5, you can see your all the ledgers what you have created, like AB traders, creditors, CGST, MSD traders, debtors, purchase, sales, and SGST. So these ledgers I have created here. Now I am going to create one stock item. So for stock item, I need to go to create option, then stock item. So now under stock item, HP laptop i5, then I can create units. So as NOS numbers, formal name is numbers, and here I can unit quantity code. So you need to tag your unit quantity code with your unit. So your unit quantity code is as NOS numbers. Okay, now accept it. Applicable, no goods, and okay. So I have created a stock item as well. So now I'm going to record first purchase voucher, then one sale voucher. So go to F9 purchase voucher, supply invoice number 001, party account AB traders creators, and like HP laptop, 100 quantity, 10,000. Okay, select purchase. Now we need to select tax ledger here. So if sorry, it's not 1,000, it's 10,000. Okay, so now if you want to see your total tax liability or tax payment, so Alt A and Alt F1 you can press here. You can see here 90,000, 90,000 your tax amount. Okay, central tax and estate tax. So you can select CGST and SGST. And now provide GST e-payable details. So you should keep it as no and then accept it. So this is general purchase, basic purchase voucher entry. Okay. Now by this way we can create the sales voucher as well. So go to voucher, press F2 date. Now press F8 for sale. Select party MFG debtors. Select HP laptop, quantity 40 piece and rate would be 15,000. Okay, select sales. Here you can again you press Alt A and Alt F1 to check your tax amount. So you can see here central tax and state tax amount is showing 54,000. So you can select CGST and SGST. Okay, and now and keep it as yes. Okay, so by this way you can create purchase and sales transactions. So I just for purchase and sale, because these are the basic transactions, that is why I just speed up these transactions so that we can explain more about new things like reverse charge mechanism and advanced GST transactions. So okay, so is there any doubt till now? If you have any doubt, any queries till now, please ask, because these are the basic transactions. Okay, so there's no worry about it because these are the basic transaction of GST. Okay, any doubt till now? Any doubt, any questions, any queries? Okay, now accept it, and these are the basic transactions. So now we'll start with next topic. Next topic is purchase from unregistered dealer. Okay, so what is unregistered dealer? So unregistered dealer are those dealers who are not registered under GST. Why they are not registered under GST? Because their turnover it is less than 40 lakhs or less than 20 lakhs. Okay, clear? So that is why they are not offered GST registration. URD cannot, if you are unregistered dealer, you cannot issue tax invoice. You cannot issue tax invoice. They can neither charge tax nor claim input tax credit. So you cannot charge any tax or you cannot take any input tax credit. Okay. So now I am going to record some purchase transaction with URD transactions. Okay. So first of all, I am going to create one master, one ledger for URD. So J Traders, it's URD under sundry creditors Karnataka, and under regular you need to select as unregistered. You need to select as unregistered. Okay. So URD created. So now what you need to do, just go to vouchers, press F8, F9 for purchase, press F2 for date, then you provide the supply invoice number, then you can select J Trader as URD. Okay. Now select HP laptop, give the quantity as 10, provide the rate as 10,000, and you can now here you can check that your tax is calculated or not. So you can see here that tax is not calculated because you purchase goods from URD. Okay, so there is no need to select any tax ledger here. You just press end of list here and press no and accept it. Okay, after record this transaction, after record this purchase transactions, if you check your GSTR1 report, display statute report GSTR1. Under this GSTR1, you can see that only one transaction is reflecting here. And if you're talking about the GSTR2, under this GSTR2, you can see that two transactions reflecting. So one is your regular dealer purchase, and one purchase is comes under nil rated, that is your unregistered supplier. Okay, it's 1 lakh without any tax. And if you further drill down it, so you can see your intra-state transactions under exempt value. So if you purchase anything from the unregistered dealer, then it would be treated as exempted value transactions. Okay, so this is URD transactions. Okay, clear? Any doubt till this point? URD is very simple. Any questions? If you have any question in your mind, please ask. GST tax calculation, if you want to, like if you are in the display daybook, means if you are in the voucher mode, you can press Alt A and Alt F1. Okay, Alt A and Alt F1. So if you press Alt A, then your GST tax analysis screen will be open. Okay. Now Alt A and Alt F1. It's simple shortcut. So now I'm going to discuss about composition dealer. It's very important and interesting to understand the composition dealer transaction. Okay. So this is purchase from composition dealer. So now the composition scheme under GST is a relief mechanism for a small taxpayer. So it's a relief mechanism for a small taxpayer. Okay, when they cannot only have comparatively less tedious compliance practices to deal with. Okay, so like if you're talking about regular dealer, like suppose if your turnover is greater than 40 lakhs, okay, greater than 40 lakhs, just wait. Okay, so suppose if your turnover is greater than 40 lakhs, like your turnover is 50 lakhs, okay, 50 lakhs. So you're just 10 lakhs above for registration under GST. So now if your turnover like 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs, then GST department give you the special privilege that you can opt for composition scheme, because in composition scheme you need to file only 2 returns yearly. Okay, uh, 2 returns, like first one is CMP08, CMP08. Okay, CMP08, it is quarterly basis, and one is GSTR4. So this only 2 returns you need to file. So that means if you're talking about the yearly basis, then we have total 4 CMP and 1 GST. Total 5 returns you need to file yearly basis. But if you're talking about the regular dealer, then you need to file total approx 25 returns yearly, like 5 times more than composition dealer. Okay, so that is why we can say this is the GST's relief mechanism for a small taxpayer. Okay, okay, so they also pay GST at lower fixed composition tax rate on their turnover. So if you're talking about the turnover, so turnover, if your turnover is less than 1.5 crore, then you can go for the composition scheme. But there are some exceptional scenarios where despite the 1.5 crore annual turnover, the taxable person cannot be eligible to be a composite dealer. Okay, so in some cases or some scenarios, if your turnover like 10 lakh, 15 lakh, or 60 lakhs or 1 crore, you cannot go for the composition scheme. Okay, in that case, you need to select for the regular dealer. So first condition is a supplier of services within the exception of food and beverages for human consumption. That means if you have a restaurant service, you can go for composition scheme. But apart from this, if you are the service provider, you cannot go for the composition scheme. But certain services are there for those. For this, you can go for the composition scheme. But in that case, you need to pay 6% GST at fixed rates. And if your turnover up to 50 lakhs, getting my point? Then when the taxable person supplies goods through an e-commerce operator, so if you are supplier for e-commerce operator, you cannot go for the composition scheme. And when there is an interstate outward supply, so suppose you are from Tamil Nadu and you need to supply your goods to Karnataka, in that case you need to take registration under GST as a regular dealer. You cannot offer composition scheme. Okay, so any doubt in this concept, any queries, if in your mind, you can ask me. If you have any type of doubt, any queries, any questions regarding the composition scheme, you can ask. Any doubt, any queries regarding composition scheme, or it's clear? Okay, okay, good. So now I'm going to create one party for composition scheme, and we'll try to record transactions through this composition scheme. Okay, so create ledger, add world traders, sundry creditors. Now we can select as composition. Here you can select composition, and you need to provide composition uh, registration number. Okay, so provide it. Now accept and accept. Okay, so now party I have created as well as a composition dealer. So go to voucher here. and press F to date for 4th of April. 003 as supply invoice number. Party account is a add world traders. Okay. Now HP laptop 10 numbers. Here, if you want to check how much GST will be calculated on this, you can press Alt A and Alt F1. There is no GST applicable on these transactions. Okay, because composition dealer cannot charge any tax at the time of supply. Okay, and cannot issue any tax invoice. In that case, composition scheme only issued bill of supply. Okay, now you can press enter and accept it. New reference and accept it. So after record this composition scheme transactions, if I check it, display statutory report GSTR2. Under GSTR2, you can see total transactions is 3, and under nil related transactions, 2 transactions is showing. So just press enter here, and here you can see that intra-state transactions, one is composition value 1 lakh and one is exempted value 1 lakh. So the transaction I have recorded, it's under composition scheme. That is why it is showing under composition value. Okay. Okay. So now we'll move to the next point, and the next point is supply of exempted nil-related goods under GST. Supply of exempted nil-related goods under GST. So exempted goods are goods that are not subject to tax. Okay. So exempted goods means those goods where tax is not applicable. So a supply is said to be exempt when it attracts nil rate of duty or specifically exempted by a notification or kept out of the purview of the tax in a non-GST supply. So here are 3 concepts. One is nil rated, second one is exempted, and third one is non-GST supply. Okay, so we'll discuss all these 3 things. But if a good or services is exempted from payment of tax, it cannot be said that it is zero rated. Okay, so but if a good or service is exempted for payment of tax, it cannot be said that it's a zero rated. Why? Because so now we have 4 things: exempted, exempt, nil rated, zero rated, and non-GST. So what is exempt? Exempt, it means these are everyday purpose items. They are basics, essential, and do not attract any GST. ITC cannot be claimed on such supplies. For example, bread, fresh fruits, milk, curd, etc. That means if you are indulged with this type of supplies, that means these are the exempted goods under GST, and you need not to take any charge any tax on this type of product. Okay, so these are the exempted goods. And if you're talking about the nil related, that means it comes under GST with zero rated 0% tax. Such supplies attracts at a GST of 0% input tax credit cannot be claimed. For example, grains, salt, jaggery, etc. So what is the difference between these two, exempt and nil rated? So here is only one difference. If you're talking about the exempt good, government never be apply any tax on this. Means this is all time free tax. Okay. But if you're talking about the nil rated, if government wants to levy any tax on this product, government can, because it is comes under zero rated tax. Okay, so this is the only difference between exempt and nil rated. So now what is zero rated? So supplies made overseas and to a special economic zone or SEZ developers comes under zero rated supplies. Such supplies attract a GST of 0%. ITC can be claimed. Okay. So if your goods has zero rated supply, that means ITC can be claimed on this. So which type of product? Suppose now in the example I take a laptop. Okay. If I laptop sold to ACZ supplier with LUT bond, in that case I need not charge any tax on the supply, but I can take input credit. Okay, so that is why you can say this is the zero rated. That means at the time of purchase I paid 18% tax, but at the time of sale I'm not charged any tax on this. So this 18% I can claim. Instead, okay, instead of charge on the sales, because we already paid at the time of purchase, we can take input tax credit. So this is zero rated. Now non-GST, so supplies which don't comes under the scope of the GST are termed as non-GST supplies. This supply can attract tax other than the GST. So here it's important, other than the GST, as per jurisdiction of the state or the country. For example, petrol and alcohol for human consumption. Okay, suppose like if you want to supply laptop as well as petrol. So in case of laptop, you need to charge GST, but in petrol you need to charge as VAT, value added tax. Okay, so but this petrol it's not comes under GST. That is why you can say this is a non-GST supply. These are the non-GST supplies. Okay, so now I'm going to record some transactions for exempt, related, related, and non-GST and check the difference in tally. Okay, so I'm going to create some stock item. Okay, so like grains. So create kgs, kilogram, and here you can select kgs, kilograms. Okay, applicable set alter GST detail, yes. Description, it should be grains. HSN, suppose I select as 2244. Now it is exempted, nil rated or taxable, so it is nil rated. Okay, very good, and accept. Now I'm going to record sales transaction for this and select MSD traders debtors, grain 100 kgs, rate is 200. So now if you press Alt A and Alt F1, there is no tax implicable on this transaction. So that is why it is showing only values. So you just press enter and accept it. New reference and accept it. Okay. After record these transactions, if you go to display statute report GSTR1, you can see that nil rated invoice. One transactions under nil rated invoice. So this is intra-state supplies to registered person. So I supplied to registered person. Okay, so it comes under nil rated. Okay, now if I create a stock item as vegetable, okay, under kgs, and again set auto GST yes, and under description you can select this is exempt. Okay, go to voucher, then again MSD traders, and select vegetable 100, 100. Again, you can press Alt and Alt F1. There is no tax, and you just press Enter, new reference, and accept. Now, after this, if you want to check display statute report GSTR1, so here you can see that two transactions reflecting under nil dated. So one is under nil dated and second one is under exempt. Okay, nil dated and exempt. Okay, so now if you want to create a stock item, and if you like, if you purchase any stock item with VAT or sell any stock item with VAT, so what you need to do first, you need to press F11 here, and you need to enable this VAT option, and then you can create any stock item with the VAT and you can assign it. So just like I'm telling you how you can do it, to select VAT Karnataka, you need to provide TIN number, taxpayer identification number. Okay, and then interstate tax number. This all these things you need to provide it. Then if you want to like create petrol, create liter, liters. Okay, and now it's not applicable, and now VAT is applicable. Set alter VAT details. You need to provide the rate, like how many, what are the tax rate is 12%, and you can accept it. Okay, so at the time of sale, you can record the sales to MSD traders. Okay, so now because we are going to record VAT transactions, we need to provide the dates and times, and you need to select the petrol and like 100 liters with rupees 100, 10,000. So you need to provide, you need to create VAT under duties and tax, select VAT here. So your 1200 rupees automatically come. You need to provide VAT details here. So e-Sugam number and all these things. So I'm just record it and accept it. Now, if you check your display statute report, GST report, GSTR1, so now it is not reflected under GST and non-GST, no? Because I just deactivate GST. That is why it is not showing here under non-GST. Okay, so by this way you can record GST and VAT report. So here you have the option VAT reports. Under this VAT report, you can check your VAT. VAT excess services reports are available as. Okay, so you need to take extension from Tally company. Okay, view VAT details. You need to take extension. Okay, so leave it. So got it now, how you can record these non-GST transactions. Any doubt? Exempt, nil rated and non-GST zero rated. Is it clear? Okay, so now I'm going to take you through the next topic. So supply of goods to a special economic zone, it's very important. So here we can record two types. So first one is normal good, normal taxable supply, and second one is through LUT bond. So as per the ACZ Act, it contains a special provision regarding the supply of goods and services without payment of tax. Okay. If the tax are paid at the time of supply, then GST law provides the facility of refund of taxes paid by the supplier. Suppose Mr. A is normal supplier and Mr. B is ACZ supplier. So this is ACZ. Okay. If A sell to B or A supply to B rupees 10,000 and charge 100 rupees tax. Okay. So in that case, B paid all this 10,100 to A. But this 100 rupees can take from government. Okay, B can take refund from government of this 100 rupees. Okay, and if it is SEZ supply, then there is no need to take any refund from the government because it is zero rated supply. It will be a zero rated supply. Okay. So if the tax are paid by the time of supply, then GST law provides the facility of refund of tax paid by the supplier. So difference between taxable sales to SEZ and supply under LUT bond. So first one is taxable SEZ sales. Under this law, the dealer making a supply to SEZ will charge integrated tax at applicable rates on supply to SEZ and later claim for refund of tax. Okay. So as I said that at the time of supply, if there is any tax, then SEZ supplier can take refund from the government. And if it is supply under LUT bond, letter of undertaking, then there is no need to charge any tax on the supply. Okay. Under this law, the dealer will not charge tax on the supply to SEZ, and the invoice must have declaration supply meant for SEZ developers under bond without payment. Okay, without payment of tax. Here is without payment of IGST. So if it is tax applicable, then IGST will be calculated. Okay, clear? Any doubt? So this is only applicable when you have signed up a letter of undertaking with the department for the sale of goods without the payment of duty. So for this LUT, you need to take a undertaking letter from the government or from the department that I am going to supply these goods to SEZ supplier, and for this I am not going to charge any tax. Okay, so this undertaking letter you should have before supply the goods. So now I'm going to record first normal transactions, and then we'll record transaction through LUT bond. Okay. So now I have to go to create option here. Create. Okay. I'm going to select create options. Under this create, I'm going to select ledger. Under this ledger, I need to create one debtors ledger. Okay. So JSM traders. JSM traders is ACZ supplier. Okay, JSM traders under sundry debtors. Okay. Now select as regular. Okay. Then select GSTN number here. Select GSTN number. Now under set alter GST detail, you need to press yes. Set alter GST details. Yes. Select regular. Assessee of other territory, no. Is e-commerce operator, no. Consider party as deemed export for purchase, no. Party type, you need to select ACZ here. Okay, party type, you need to select ACZ, and then GST number and accept. Okay, and accept. Clear till this point? Okay. Now I'm going to record one transactions here. So go to voucher, sales. Under sales, I need to provide the date here. Then I need to select JSM Traders ACZ. Okay. Name of item, HP laptop, quantity 10, rate would be 15,000. Now I want to check which type of tax will be applicable. Either it is CGST, SGST or IGST. So for this I can press Alt A and Alt F1. So here it is showing integrated tax. IGST will be applicable. Okay. Instead of with the same state, like I have selected Karnataka itself for this party also. So although it is Karnataka, it's asking for integrated tax. Why? Because it is ACZ supplier, special economic zone supplier. Okay. So for this, I just press IGST here. So I'm not created IGST so far. So I can create here IGST under duties and tax. Okay. Select GST, select integrated tax and press enter. Okay, any doubt in these transactions? Any doubt in these transactions? Okay, so I can accept it. So if I press page up and press Control P for print preview, here we can see that this tax invoice with the heading supply meant for export or supply to ACZ unit or ACZ developers for authorized operation on payment of IGST. Okay, so this is tax invoice. You can see here all the tax details. Okay, so because it is ACZ supply, that is why this message supply meant for export supply ACZ unit or ACZ developer for authorized operation on payment of IGST. It is fine. Now the party JSM traders asked me that please don't apply any tax on my transaction because in every time I need to claim for this to government, it's a very hectic work for me. So please take LUT bond from the department and supply without tax. Okay, so now I'm going to what I need to do here. I just press F11 here. Under this F11, I just deactivate it. Yes. Then I need to activate this. Provide LUT bond details. Provide LUT bond details. Okay. Under this LUT bond, we need to provide the LUT bond. So I just provide LUT slash 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 slash 23 24. Okay. For this, I need to provide applicable form. So I just provide applicable from 15th April to 31st of March. Okay, 15th April to 31st of March. Okay, so I just given all these details. Now accept it. Okay, so after doing this, now I'm going to record again one more transactions for JSM traders on the date of 20th April. 20th April. Select JSM traders. Now press enter here and select HP laptop. 10 quantity again. Now here again I want to check which tax is applicable on this transaction. So for this I press Alt A and Alt F1. Now you can see that no tax will be applicable on this. Okay, there's no tax implication on these transactions. So why? Because we are dealing dealing this party with the LUT bond. So we have the LUT bond now. Okay. So now after recording this, if I want to again press page up, I want to take printout of this transaction. So press Control P with print preview. Now I can see here, and you can see the top of the heading below the tax invoice. This is supply meant for export, supply to SEZ unit or SEZ developers for authorized operations under bond or letter of undertaking without payment of IGST. Okay, so now there is no tax applicable because we have a LUT bond, and in every invoice LUT bond details will be mentioned. Okay, now I'm going to check my GSTR1. So go to display, statutory report, GSTR1. Here you can see that your all the transactions comes under this B2B. So under this B2B, one is JSM traders, SEZ supplier. Okay. So for SEZ, two transactions are there. So JSM traders, one is taxable 1,50,000, 27 integrated, and the second one is without tax. Okay, clear? Any doubt till this point? Any doubt till this point? Any queries if you have? Please, any doubts, any queries, anything if you want to repeat, please text me. Okay, now I have the poll. Okay, so you have some, I have some 10 questions. Okay, so first 5 questions I'm going to ask from all of you. So please participate. I'm just requesting to all of you, please participate for this poll. Okay, so now I'm going to ask first questions. So for every question we have 1 minute time. So please fill this question. Please, it's request. Please fill this questions. Please submit the questions. Okay, now next question is, This is the third question. Please participate to everyone. And this is the last question for the first half. Okay, thank you all for participate this question session. So now we'll discuss next session. So now next point is reverse charge mechanism under GST. It's very important topic. So what is reverse charge mechanism? What is RCM? So you can say that RCM also for reverse charge mechanism. What is RCM? The reverse charge mechanism under GST is referred to the liability to pay the receiver or buyer of the supply of goods or services instead of the suppliers. Okay. So here the suppliers will not pay any tax to the government. Instead of supplier, now it's buyer duty to pay the tax to the government. Okay. The reverse charge mechanism in GST is applicable in the following scenario. Okay, so now there are two scenarios. For every transaction, you cannot charge as RCM. Okay. So supply of notified goods. So here you need to remember that supply of notified goods and services. On supply of notified goods and services declared by the government, the recipient must pay tax under reverse charge to the government. Okay, so here is two options. First one is example of for notified goods. So some of the notified goods are there. which is notified by the GST department. So like first one is cashew nuts, not shelled or peeled, tendu leaf, tobacco leaf, silk, yarn, raw cotton, okay, supply of lottery, etc. So if you supply this type of products, then it's buyer duty to pay tax to the government, not supplier. That means, suppose if you supply like suppose Mr. A supplies to B, okay, and the bill is 10,000. So now we need to pay like tax amount is 500. So 500 is the tax amount. So now total bill value is 10,500. But instead of 10,500, we need to pay to A is 10,000 only, and this 500 we need to pay to the government under the GST. And some in like these are the goods, but if you're talking about the services, the supply of services by goods transport agency GTA in respect of transportation of goods by road service supplied by the advocate. Okay, so if you avail the GTA and the goods supplied through road, then you need to pay reverse charge mechanism. Then service supplied by an advocate, if any legal advice take from the advocate, then you need to pay RCM, like you need to pay tax to the government. And then service supplied by an arbitral tribunal to a business entity. So in that this type of services, if you receive, then you need to pay tax as per RCM concept. And apart from this, so one more things are there. So imports. So on imports of goods or services, the importer must pay tax under reverse charge to the government on the value of the goods or services imported. A custom duty will levied on the goods or services. Price plus custom duty interior tax will be levied. Okay. So these two things. First one is notified goods. First one is notified goods. Notified goods. Okay. Notified goods. Second one is goods, and second one is services. Okay. So if your goods is notified by the government or services notified the government, then there is one option, this is RCM will be applicable, reverse charge mechanism. And if reverse charge mechanism is applicable, then buyer need to pay tax instead of supplier. Okay. So now in Tally, I'm going to record and see how many transactions we need to do for this RCM case. Okay. So now I'm going to create one ledger here, and the ledger name is uh, GTA service. Okay. Under indirect expenses, is GST applicable? Yes, GST is applicable. Set alter GST, I need to activate it. Yes. Now description GTA, and you need to provide SAC code. Okay, SSC code. Always start with 992324. Okay. So now here nature of transactions. So it is purchase taxable, and then is reverse charge applicable? If this option is not appearing here, you just press F12 here. Under this F12, you have enable reverse charge calculation. So you need to activate it. Okay. So is reverse charge applicable? Yes. Select the rate of percentage is 18% and select service. Okay. Any doubt? Creation of this master? This ledger under indirect expense GTA services. So we take some GTA, good transport agency service we received. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to record one purchase transaction. So go to voucher, F9 purchase, press date 21 April 005. Here you need to select the party like AB Traders. So we received GTA service from AB Traders. So just press enter. Name of item, sorry, here you need to press Ctrl H and accounting invoice because this is accounting invoice concept. We select GTA service here. So we created this GTA service under indirect expenses. So it's a ledger. So that is why I select accounting invoice. Okay. Now suppose the rate is 50,000. Okay. Here you can press Alt A and Alt F1. We can see that central tax and estate tax will be applicable 99%. And one note option is appearing here. And note is amount of tax subject to reverse charge. Okay. So now what you need to do here, you just press enter, accept, select new reference and accept it. Okay. So now what is the concept? Concept is this, this tax, 4,500 CGST and 4,500 SGST we need to pay to the government. Okay. So just press this voucher and accept it. Now after this, you need to go to display GST reports. Under GST reports, you need to go to GSTR2. Under this GSTR2, you can see that reverse charge inward supplies 9,000 is showing. Okay. But if you check B2B invoice, under this B2B invoice, you can see that one Karnataka taxable total tax 50,000 and 4,500 is there under your GSTR2. But here you can see that reverse charge inward supply, reverse charge liability to be booked, it's 9,000 is going. Now what you need to do here? First, we need to increase our tax liability. First, we need to increase our tax liability. So how you can increase our tax liability? You just press enter, reverse in charge inward supplies. And here you can see that under a liability ITC book, if you see here, liability ITC book, it is blank. And balance liability it is showing 4,500, 4,500. So here you need to record one adjustment transactions and you need to increase your tax liability first. So here is the option Alt J start adjustment. You just click on this. Okay, state adjustment. Select increase of tax liability under purchase under reverse charge. You can see here increase of tax liability. I'm going to record again or press Alt J here. Here you can see type of duties tax GST, nature of adjustment increase of tax liability, additional detail purchase under reverse charge. Okay, press enter. Now here you need to, because you're increasing your tax liability now, so you need to create one current assets ledger here. Tax on RCN under current assets. Under current assets. Okay, just accept it. What is the tax amount? It's 9,000. Okay. Now credit CGST. Here you need to press 9% and total taxable value is 50,000. And you need to provide for 5,500 here. Again credit SGST and 4,500. So if you record this transaction now, so your liability will be increased. Your GST liability will be increased. Okay. Now after increasing your GST liability, next you can see here that your balance liability will be blank and liability ITC booked. It is now 4,500, 4,500. It's showing. Now what to do? So you increase your tax liability now because you purchased this thing and you need to claim input credit on this. So you need to increase your input tax credit as well. You just create your increase your tax liability only. Now you need to increase your input tax credit also. So for this, you just go to voucher. Okay, press Alt J, GST, increase of input tax credit, increase of input tax credit. Now you need to select here purchase under reverse charge. Purchase under reverse charge. So now you need to debit what? CGST 9%, sorry, 9%, 50,000, 4,500, debit SGST 4,500 and CGST by credit tax on RCM and provide GST details. Okay, under provide GST detail you need to press yes. Okay, clear this transaction. After record this transaction, you need to go to display statute report GSTR2. Under this GSTR2, now reverse charge inward supply is showing 0. That means your liability and your input tax credit now will be fine. Okay, so you just increase your tax liability as well as your input tax credit. Is it clear? Any doubt till this point? If you want to see the transactions, if you want to repeat any transaction, if you have any conceptual doubt, anything. So this is a concept of reverse charge mechanism. Any doubt? Okay. Now the next question is under F11. Under F11, when we use enable tax liability on reverse charge purchase from unregistered dealer. Okay, so when you received any notified goods or services from unregistered dealer, in that case you need to activate this feature. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Enable tax liability on reverse charge purchase from unregistered dealer. If you purchase any goods from unregistered dealer, if it is notified, then you need to activate this. Okay. Now next point I'm going to discuss, and the next point is reverse charge mechanism under GST. The following businesses that are the recipient of services are required to pay GST under the reverse charge mechanism. So these are the sorry. These are the parties. If factory registered under the Factories Act 1948 and a society registered under Society Register Act 1860, a cooperative society, a GST registered person dealer, a corporate body, a partnership firm, and casual taxable person. If they are involved in the business transactions and if they purchase any notified goods, then this type of person should pay tax to the government. Okay. Now the next point is advance received under GST. It's very important. You can record the advance amount received from customer in a receipt voucher by making it as advance receipt and print it with the required GST details. Okay. So if you sell anything and for this sale if you take any advance rupees, in that case you need to record this advance in your tally and you need to calculate GST on this advance. But there is some clause. What are the clause? If the turnover of your business is over and above 1.5 crore, set the option enable tax liability on advance receipt to yes in the company GST detail screen to calculate tax liability on advance receipt. Okay. If your turnover is over and above 1.5 crore, if your turnover is greater than 1.5 crore, then you need to enable your GST advance transaction details. The liability will be included in GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. You need to pay GST for any advance received for goods or services if the supply is not fulfilled in the same period. But here is one note, for the supply of goods, advance received is not subject to GST. Okay. Now, what are the clause? The clause is just wait. Okay. First clause is if your turnover is more greater than 1.5 crore. Second clause is what is the second clause? Second clause is if you supply any services, not goods. Okay, now advance is applicable only on services, not goods. If your turnover one greater than 1.5 crore and if you are service provider or you are providing any service, you can, and if you receive any advance, then you need to calculate advance receipt and under the GST. Okay, so I'm going to tally now here. Enable tax liability on advance receipt. I need to activate it. Okay, and then I'm going to create one master here, one ledger here. What is the ledger? Repairing services. Repairing services. So here I can select as direct income because it's a direct income. Okay, for us. Is GST applicable? So it is applicable. Set alter GST detail yes. And now we need to provide the description. HSN, sales, taxable, okay, and 18%. And this is service. Now I am going to record one advance receipt. One advance receipt. So go to F6 receipt voucher. Select date as 22nd of April. Select create one photo bank here under bank account. Okay. Select repairing services. No, select party here from where I want to select. So MSG traders, and the advance rupees is 20,000. Okay, so now if I record this transaction, so now you can see that no GST will be applicable on these transactions. Okay, so it is simple receipt voucher transactions. So, but you need to calculate GST as well. So you just go to voucher, press Alt J here, Alt J. Under this Alt J, you need to select advance receipt. Alt J, you need to select advance receipt, and here select Kotak Bank, and here you can select the party. Party is MSD traders, and select Alt L show ledgers. Alt L show ledgers. Under this show ledger, you have the repairing services, and total amount received as advance 20,000 including GST. So now you can see that GST amount is 16949.16. We can type it here. So it is 16,949.16, and the rate is 1525. 1525.44. Okay, so this is the amount. So I just press enter, advance, and you can accept it. Okay, so by this way you can record this advanced transactions. So after record this advanced transaction, you go to display statute report GSTR 1. Under this GSTR 1, transaction of other GST returns. So here, okay, so actually it is not showing with the service ledger. It is not showing with the service ledger. What you need to do here, I just press Alt L and select HP laptop. Okay, advance. So I just select HP laptop here, or I need to record it again. Voucher, Alt J, advance receipt, Kotak Bank, MSG traders, select HP laptop, advance amount 20,000. Okay, advance and accept. So if you record this transaction, display statute report GSTR 1. Oh, why it is not showing under this amount unadjusted? What is the reason behind? Now it is showing 20,000. Okay. Now it is showing 20,000 here. So some reference issue, that is why it is not showing. Yes, it is activated. No, that is if I not activated, this advanced receipt option will be not appear on this top. Okay. So because of this reference number, that is why it is not showing. Now I'm changing it to 001. Now it is appearing under this here. So now you can see that amount unadjusted against the suppliers 20,000. Okay, it is showing 20,000 here. So first you need to press enter, and then you can see that your total tax amount, balance liability will be appearing here. Yes, it is only service, not goods. I already discussed that it is not related with the goods. It's related with the service. But due to some reason, I'm trying to record with service again. I'm trying to record service again because it was not appearing. That is why I selected goods. I'm going to record again these transactions. Alt J first, advance receipt, Kotak Bank, select repairing service rupees 20,000. Okay, now not repairing service, I should select party name here, MLD data, and now when it press Alt L here, select repairing service 20,000. Okay, this 20,000 advance 1 2 3. I selected 1 2 3. Probably it will work. Okay, now display statute report GSTR1. Now you can see that your advance unadjusted against this. So I have selected service. Okay, I have selected service for this. Okay, so now you press enter and you can see that this tax liability, balance liability of the tax, it's appearing 1525.42. Okay, 1525.42, 1525.42. See GST as GST. Now what happened? What is the story of advance receipt? So suppose if you received advance on 10th of April, 10th of April. In that case, if you sell by 20th of April or 30th of April, then there is no need to record this adjustment transactions. But if you record this 10th, if you receive 10th April advance, and if you if you record the transactions on 1st of May, 1st of May or later date, you need to record all these transactions, all these adjustment transactions, because for the month of April you need to pay this much of 1525.42, this much of amount to the government. So for this you need to increase your tax liability and you need to pay this tax to the government. So for increasing your tax liability, what you need to do, you just press Alt J here. So here you can see that GST, type of duty and tax GST, nature of adjustment is increase of tax liability, and here you need to select on account of advance receipt. So here you need to select on account of advance receipt. Now again, what you are doing, you are increasing your tax liability. So you need to create one ledger here, tax on advance under current assets, under current assets. Okay, how much? What is the amount? It is 1525.42 into 2. 1525.42 into 2. 3050.84. Now we need to press credit here. CGST, how many percentage? 9%. Taxable value, what is the taxable value? 16,949.16. 16,949.16. Okay, and 1525.42. Again credit SGST and just press enter. Now provide GST detail. You need to provide GST detail to yes. Okay, yes. Here you need to select MSD Traders, Karnataka, and accept it. Okay. So first you need to record this increase of tax liability. So you just increase your tax liability. Now if you check your GSTR 1, you can see that one transaction under tax liability advance received 16,949.16 and 3050, it is already included in under the GSTR 1, and now you need to pay all this tax to the government by 20th of May. So now April ended, now May started, and what happened if you record the sale transaction in the month of May? So for this I'm just going to voucher, press F8 sales, and I should select the date, suppose 5th of May. I'm recording these transactions on 5th of May. Select MSD traders. First you need to change it, change the view, Control H, and item invoice mode. Select MSD traders. Now select name of item. Oh, it's sorry. Again, I need to change it to accounting invoice. MSD traders. Now I need to select repairing service, and the total repairing service is 50,000. Okay. Now press CGST and SGST. Press enter, enter, enter. Now you need to select against reference, and here you need to select 123 advance. Okay, 20,000. Then you need to select new reference, and you just press enter here and accept it. So by this way you can record the sales transaction if it is happen in the next month. Okay. Now after record these transactions, if you check your display statutory report GSTR1 for the month of May 0105 to 31st of May, here you can see that total 9,000 tax is appearing under the tax amount on total 50,000. But in 50,000 we already received the 20,000 in the last month, and we pay tax on this. That means this we need to reduce tax amount from the month of May. We need to reduce the tax amount. How much tax amount? 3050. What we have paid in the month of April, 1st of April to 30th of April. If you check that, you can see that 3050.84. This much amount I already paid in the month of May. So in the in the month of April. So you need to reduce this 3050 from the 9,000. Okay. So for this you just go to voucher, press F2 is 6th of May, and press F7 journal voucher, press Alt J here, select GST and select decrease of tax liability. Decrease of tax liability, and you need to select sales against advance receipt. You need to select sales against advance receipt. Now CGST 9%. What is the total taxable value? 16,949.16. 16,949.16. Okay, and what is the total value? Total value is, sorry, not total, 1525.42. 1525.42. Now again debit SGST, select 1525.42, and now credit tax on advance. Tax on advance. Okay, provide GST detail, yes. Advance receipt number 123. Advance receipt date, what was the date? I can select it, display daybook here, and the receipt transaction date was 22nd of April. So 22nd of April. Okay, party was MSD Traders, Karnataka, and accepted. Okay, so now after record this transaction, if you go to display statute report GSTR 1 and select the period 1st of May to 31st of May. So here you can see that your adjustment of advance, it is showing under negative value 3050.84, and your 20,000 it's adjusted and it's now showing sales against advance from previous period. Is it clear? If this transaction is clear? So I'm going to show you again these transactions. Just here, what you need to do is just go to display daybook. First, what I need, what I have done here. First, I just record receipt transactions on 22nd of April with the tag of advance receipt. Okay, select Kotak Bank, select party name. Okay, and after this, then I have select the repairing services and then accept it with the advance reference number. Okay, after record this, what I need to do, I need to increase the tax liability for the month of April. So for this, on 30th April, I have recorded one transaction tax on advance receipt. On 30th April, you can see here, debit tax on advance under current assets 3050.84, CGST 1525.42, and SGST 1525.42. So by this way, I just increase my tax liability, and after increasing tax liability, we can pay all the tax to the government for the month of April on the due date. Okay. Now, then next month, I record the sales transactions against the advance. So for this, what I have done here, I just select first against the reference and select the advance receipt number, and then select the enter the 20,000 here. Then new reference and select the remaining amount. Okay. Now, as we already paid tax on 20,000 for the in the month of April, now we need to reduce this tax amount in the month of May. So for this, again, I have created one more journal voucher, and with the decrease of tax liability flag, sales against advance receipt. And in this transaction, I have debited CGST, SGST with 1525.42 and credit tax on advance 3050.84. So by this way, adjust the our tax liability for the month of May. Okay, so this is advance receipt transactions. Okay, any doubt? Any doubt till this point? So this is the last point, import of goods under GST. So under the GST regime, both the import of goods and of services into the territory of India would be treated as supply of goods or services in the course of interstate trade, attracting the levy of IGST. Okay, so it is so at the time of import of goods, IGST will be applicable. It's a simple concept. Okay. Then the GST Act defines the import of goods as bringing goods into India from abroad. Accordingly, the GST Act considers all imports into India as interstate attracting IGST. And addition to the IGST, the import would also subject to custom duty. Okay, so custom duty also applicable on import of goods. Thus, when goods are imported into India, IGST would be applied to the value of the goods and collecting along with the custom duty. So here, suppose your goods value, is 1 lakh, okay, and you pay custom duty rupees 50,000. So now for IGST, you need to add this 1,50,000 and you need to calculate IGST on this entire 1,50,000. Okay, okay. So the Custom Tariff Act 1975 has already been amended to the provide for levy of integrated tax and the compensation cess on imported goods in anticipation of the GST rollout. Calculating GST on imports, the assessable value of goods imported into India shall apply at the value of rupees 100. So I saw you through like 1 lakh, so it's showing it's 100. Basic custom duty is 10% ad valorem. Okay, and then the integrated tax rate shall apply at the rate of 18%. Okay, so this is the format. Like if 100 rupees cost your goods value, 10% if basic custom duty is applicable, now the 110 and 18% will be calculated on 180. Okay, so in a import transaction, GST applicable depends on the types of import. So there are three types of import. First one is taxable import, second one is exempt import, and third one is nil-rated import. So taxable import, integrated tax is applicable. Select imports taxable as the nature of transactions in the purchase ledger created for taxable imports. Exempt import, no tax is applicable. Select imports exempt as the nature of transactions in the purchase ledger created for exempt import. And nil-rated import, no tax is applicable. Select imports nil-rated as the nature of transactions in the purchase ledgers created for nil-rated imports. Okay. So now I'm going to record the transactions for import. Check how we can record all these things. Okay. First we need to go to create. Here we can create ledger purchase import under purchase account. Okay. Applicable, no, and this is goods. Okay. Now we need to create party ledger here. So suppose party name is LG International. Sundry creditors, and in the name of state we can select Singapore. Okay, and just press accept and accept. Now I am going to record the transactions. So go to voucher. Under this voucher we have press F9 purchase voucher. Date should be 7th of May. Supply invoice number 007. Suppose select here LG International. Okay, now under this import details you need to provide place like of this photo planning. So these all things are important and mandatory, but here you need to provide, here we need to provide bill of entry number, port code and date. These are the compulsory. Okay, so bill of entry number, okay, date is 7th of May, and port code is Bengaluru. I have select Bengaluru. Okay, LG International. Select the, okay, select here item invoice. Name of item HP laptop, quantity 10. Now here, sorry, we need to select purchase import, and then here taxable amount is asking. So what is your taxable amount for GST calculation? So suppose total taxable amount is 1,30,000. 1,30,000. Okay, now press enter. Here if you press alt A and alt F1, you can see that integrated tax 18% will be applicable, and here you can see here that value overridden by user. So value is overridden by the user, and amount of tax subject to reverse charge. So why it is showing value overridden by the user? Because I have selected a taxable value, different taxable value. So that is why it is showing overridden by the user. Okay. Now, because it is amount of tax subject to reverse charge, so here there is no need to mention any tax here. So just press enter. Okay. So if you record these transactions and if you go to display statutory report GSTR2, under this GSTR2, I just press Alt F2 and press 1st of May to 31st of May. So here you can see that import of goods showing 1,30,000. This is import of goods, it is showing 1,30,000. But now, because we recorded the transaction, that is why it is showing our in GST return. But until we will not pay any, we will not pay custom duty or integrated tax IGST, we cannot get the goods from the port. So to release the goods from the port, we need to pay custom duty and IGST first. So for this, I just go to voucher, press F5 payment voucher, press the date is 8th of May, select Kotak Bank and select custom duty. So you need to create one ledger here, custom duty. Now under you need to select purchase. Why I have selected purchase here? Because apart from GST, if we pay any tax on goods at the time of purchase, we need to add this type of expenses to our purchase amount. Okay, that is why I have selected purchase account here. So is GST applicable? So it's not need to provide any applicability here. So select not applicable. Name of item HP laptop. Quantity, there's no need to provide any quantity here. We just press 30,000 as custom duty. Okay. Now select IGST, and what would be the IGST amount? 18% on 1,30,000. We can calculate here. 1,30,000, 18%, 23,400. Okay. Select end of list, and we can accept it. So by this way, you can payment custom duty and IGST. So after paying this much amount, then I can get my goods from the ports. Okay, just press enter and accept it. After recording this, now I need to increase my tax liability, and again I need to increase my input tax credit. Why I need to raise my tax liability? Because it is a reverse charge mechanism. Here the RCM concept is applicable. So because I am going to pay tax to the government, so for this I need to raise my tax liability, and because it is on purchase, so I am eligible to take input tax credit, so I need to raise my input credit also. Okay, so here I just press Alt J. Sorry, under the general voucher, first I need to go to general voucher, press Alt J here, select GST. Under GST, I need to select the increase of tax liability. Increase of tax liability. Select additional detail as import of goods. Okay. Now debit. Again, I need to create tax on imports. Under current assets. Okay, include in asset value, not applicable. What is the amount? 23,400. And credit is IGST. 18%, 1,30,000. Okay, increase of tax liability. Now, again, I need to record one more transaction. Press Alt J, GST, and increase of input tax credit against import of goods. And here again, I need to press IGST, 18%, 1,30,000, and the 23,400, and credit tax on advance. Sorry, tax on imports. Okay, provide GST detail, yes. Period from 1st May to 31st May. Bill of entry number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Date 8th of May. Port code Bengaluru. And accept it. Okay, so I have recorded all these transactions related with the imports. Okay, so now again I'm telling you what I have done for these transactions. First, I need to record purchase transactions and without provide any tax amount under this transactions. Then I need to record payment transaction, payment of custom duty and IGST. Then I'm going to increase of tax liability against import of goods, tax on import debit, IGST credit. Then I record increase of input tax credit under import of goods and debit IGST and credit tax on imports. Okay, so this is all about today's session. So what we have done in today's session, so we see so many types of transactions like import transactions, advance received, RCM concept, exempted, nil rated and zero rated supply, purchase from composition or unregistered dealer, and purchase normal transaction like regular dealer transaction. Okay, so I'm going to open again poll, and we have the 5 more questions. So it's my request to complete this. Okay, So this is the last question. Okay, so thank you very much to participate for this poll. So now this is Q&A session. So if you have any doubt, any queries regarding this today's topic, please ask. Any doubt, any queries? Okay, so if there's no doubt, no queries, then thank you for joining this session. I'm now this session will I'm going to wind up this session. So this recorded session will be available in resource center, so you can download this recorded session. Okay, so thank you very much to join this session. I hope this session will be helpful for you. Okay, so you can mail me on my email ID, so I'll share you through email. Okay, my mail, note it, my mail ID. My mail ID is, this is my email ID. I hope you got this. Okay, so this is my email ID. So you can you share my share your requirement. Did not get. Okay, I'm sending it again. Get it? Okay. So thank you very much to join this session. Thank you all. So now I'm going to wind up this session. Okay, thank you. Thank you all.